420 awards? Yeah, it wasn't a stream. It was a pre-recorded video. I don't know why he would promise to do the stream and then have an entire video ready much earlier than the stream was supposed to happen. I think maybe his intention was to have a pre-recorded video pretend to be a stream, and then he couldn't figure out how to do like a premiere video or something. That's probably what happened. I think it is a typo. And I'm going to confirm the dates of the other trailers listed on this DVD to make sure. Why did I search the 2003 Anime Works DVD? Well, that's what I'm ripping right now. My understanding right now, like, the only evidence... A lot of the Kimba crowd says that the Jungle Emperor Leo film was in production from the late 80s. Some say 89, some say 87, or whatever. I have yet to find any evidence for that. But the trailer on the 2003 Anime Works release of Jungle Emperor Leo, the 1997 movie, the trailer for the movie, at the end of the trailer, it says copyright 1987 Tezuka Productions. And I think that's a typo. And what I'm going to do is there's several trailers on this DVD, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the copyright of the trailers to the release date of those other films. Because if they match up with the release date and not the trailer date, then that's very clearly a typo. Because every other trailer on that DVD would have an accurate date. Because I encourage all of you right now, if you like, I would love if anybody could find me any source that states that the Jungle Emperor Leo 97 movie was in production as early as 1987. Because the idea was that it was a... I'm going to have to go over the fucking patent book again. Because I think people are conflating it and confusing it with the remake series. Because I'm pretty sure I read in Patton's book, and I'm going to confirm this when I go back to Kimba after I'm done working on this thing. Pretty sure I read in Patton's book that the last thing Tezuka did before he died was he greenlit the remake series. So I don't know if he was ever even really involved on even so much as greenlighting the 97 movie, even though that's the common popular belief that he did. I'm not sure that's actually the case because I can't find any sources that actually say that. The only people saying that are like, just a user on IMDb trivia, which is just user generated, and then one person in a Twitter thread that's already said a bunch of other completely incorrect things. So yeah, I need to... If anybody can find me... If, let's say, that it was in production in the 80s, that doesn't really dismantle any of my points. The point that I would be arguing against would be that this particular trailer was out in 87, which I just find ridiculous. I don't think that that's the case at all. I do not think that that trailer was a thing in 87. That doesn't make any sense. Like... You would have to work on the film for like 2 years before creating that trailer anyway. Like, you'd have to, like, the movie would have had to have been in production by like 85 or something. And then mysteriously, for like literally no reason, be in production for another like 15 years. Almost. 13 years. So, I'm going to get to the bottom of this after this. Oh no, you can possess... This is I'm learning so much about this whole Kimba thing, and some of it's like fascinating and also frustrating, There's things I'm debunking that I wasn't expecting to debunk because I had no reason to believe that it was inaccurate.
I'm doing a bit of digging, Adam, and the only Kimba-related thing I can find is that one of the television series premiered in 1989. My assumption is that people see that and don't connect the dots that the Kimba TV show is not the Kimba movie.
Yeah, I think so, blessed Phasar. I really think that people can... Why would he... Like... That would be... Because I'm pretty sure in the Fred Patton book it says that the last thing he did before he died was greenlight the remake series, the New Adventures. And it's like common knowledge among anybody talking about this controversy to say things like, Yeah, the 97 movie was in production from the 80s. And then Tezuka died, and then budgetary issues or something, and it's like they had just a big fucking... But I don't even think that's the case. I think people just fucked up. I think everybody's a fucking idiot. I think people are just stupid.
In the Japanese Wikipedia, they reference this book about the production starting earlier.
Oh my god, really? Another book? I just did a Google search for this book, and I don't see anything. I see 0 results. But I would like to translate the Japanese Wikipedia and see what it says.
Be careful when using Wikipedia, it's not always reliable.
If it's sourced, I can look at the source, though. So I have the Blu-ray, so I'm not using this for the actual film footage. I'm just maybe perhaps taking note of the copyright symbol at the end of the movie, which in this case should say 97. These trailers here. 4chan Quest. And then this trailer this is the one that requires some sort of explanation. 1987 Tezuka Productions. That's what it says. If you go and you look at the trailer on the Blu-ray, it doesn't say that, I don't think. So if I were to go to, I believe I already ripped the Blu-ray trailer. Yeah, it is a different trailer. And then this confusing thing here, 1987, copyright 1987. That's what's confusing about this. So I guess I'm going to have to go to, you said on the Japanese wiki, like, so this is, all right. 1989 TV animated theatrical version 19 okay. Movie version animated movie 1997 published on Sonichu Sonichiku. Has no connection to the conventional TV animated version. It was produced with the intention of faithfully depicting the second part of the original that was modified in the end of the TV animated version. Constructed with the image that Tezuka, who loves Tezuka, will... I love translations. With that Tezuka, who loves Tezuka, will gather together and imagine that this would be the case for Tezuka in his life. I guess I'll let you see it. Sorry, I didn't realize I was blocking it. It is a work that was constructed with the image that Tezuka, who loves Tezuka, will gather together and imagine that this would be the case for Tezuka in his life. At the time, Sonichu was worried about a drop in distribution income and he was trying an anime line that began with the movie version of the Japanese animation Flanders Dog and the movie version of Jungle the Great, which is Jungle Emperor, was one of them, and it was said that Tezuka Pro was contacted by Sonichu from 3 or 4 years ago to work on Tezuka's work. And Sonichu initially hoped to make Astro Boy a movie. The distribution income of Jungle the Great was 430 million yen. In addition, about 9 months before his work, Blackjack by another staff member of Tezuka Pro was released in some Sonichu system. Disney was requested to discontinue it when it was released in Canada because it was produced as a piggyback on the... Okay, so this is talking about the cease and desist letter. The global hit The Lion King was pointed out to be similar to his work due to its... Yeah, okay, so somebody translated in the comments there. It really doesn't seem like there's anything even in the Japanese wiki to suggest that it's the production started in the 80s. This seems like a reasonable translation here. The movie opened up on August 1997 by Sonuchiku Group. It was a completely new project that was completely disconnected from the TV anime up until that point. The intention was to follow the second part of the original work where the TV anime diverged toward the end. They gathered staff that affectionately respected Tezuki. I mean, probably Tezuka is what it's supposed to say. And was made in a way that Tezuka would have done. At the time, Sochiku were troubled with low box office earnings. So at the time, it's already saying at the time, but that means on August 1st, 1997. This doesn't talk about anything in the 80s. At the time, Sonichu were troubled with low box office earnings and tested the waters with anime movie version of Dog of Flanders and Jungle Emperor Leo movie was such an attempt. Tezuka Productions already had a connection with Sonichu as Three-fourths through the years, they had wanted to work on a Tezuka project. At first, they wanted to do a movie version of Astro Boy. The Jungle Emperor Leo movie revenue exceeded around $4 million. 9 months prior to Sonichu worked on a movie version of Blackjack with other Tezuka staff. Now, people point towards the similarities, The Lion King, blah, 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 blah. So literally, even on the Japanese Wikipedia page, there's literally nothing about it having been in production since the 80s. So this might just be complete bullshit. It might just be actually complete bullshit. And you'd think that the Japanese version would have a page other than just on the Kimba page, but here we are. Everywhere I've looked now, there is literally zero evidence to suggest that production started in the 80s other than this trailer that came out in, like, that says 87, but I'm now confident that it's a typo. It's a typo. Why would it say 87 and not 97? They wouldn't have all of this. These scenes are from everywhere in the movie. How long do you think animation takes to make? Right? Animation is a time-consuming process. Like, some people are speculating. Literally, in the patent book, he says that one of the last things that Tezuka did was sign off on the 89 series. Right? Like, this animation would have taken, to get to this trailer, you would have needed at least 2 years, right, of the animation alone to get the footage for this trailer. Whereas there's no mention in anything that, like, I legitimately think it was a typo. And what we're going to do to confirm this, actually, is I'll do this right now. So this says 1987 Tezuka Productions. So the other trailers found on this disc are for Magic Knight Ray Earth, and it says, I guess this is just the DVD release, so I can't even say that. The other one is for Virtua Fighter, available on DVD. It says 1995 and 2000. So the original one in 1995. Let's see, Virtua Fighter, original run 1995. Okay, so that, like, the literally the trailer based on that is of the original run of its airing. And that coincides with this trailer. And now we have another trailer on the same DVD, Fortune Quest, copyright 1997. What do you want to bet that the air date for Fortune Quest is 1997? Let's see. Yeah, 1997. So why would it be that literally the only trailer on this DVD would show a copyright, not of the actual air date of the product, whereas every other single copyright at the end of a trailer on every one of these on the entire DVD, every single other copyright is the air date of when it was aired, right? 95, 97, those are when those things were published, right? This one happens to say 87. I think that was a typo, because otherwise that doesn't make any sense anyway. How would they get all this footage in 87? That doesn't make any sense. This DVD is from 2003, by the way. This trailer didn't release in 87. That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. I genuinely think it's a typo.
Probably got re-released, Adam.
Probably got re-released? What do you mean? This movie? This movie didn't release in 87. It 100% did not get released in 87. It did not exist until 97. What are you talking about? It was in film festivals in 97. That doesn't make any sense. Not even the Kimba crowd is arguing that the film got released in 87. Not even the Kimba crowd is arguing that. What are you talking about? Not even the Kimba crowd is arguing that. Are you serious? You don't know what I'm talking about.
What's the packaging on the DVD say?
What does the packaging on the DVD say? What do you mean? The package... I'm not talking about the release date of the this is not even up for debate. The release date of the film is 97. No one is debating that, including the Kimba crowd. No one is debating the release date of the film. We're talking about why the copyright in the trailer says 87, because some people in the Kimba crowd think that means that the trailer got released in 87, 10 years before the movie, which doesn't make any sense.
The film went through production hell that lasted nearly 10 years, but it still doesn't add up.
Yeah, there are films that have gone into production hell before, but the reason why I'm researching this is because there's zero sources anywhere to document that that's what happened to this film. And so the people that are making these claims online saying, yeah, the film was developed in the 80s and then production hell and then nothing happened for 10 years or something and then it got released. The people saying those are not backing those up with any kind of sources. And every single thing just leads back to some random fucking Twitter thread, right? That's why I'm researching this. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and you're making me mad. No one is seriously saying that the 97 movie came out in 87. Not even the Kimba crowd. Don't like that fucking stupid video. Don't like that fucking stupid video that's full of shit. What are you talking about? Are you caught up to date on what's been happening the past 4 months? Are you new here? That video's bullshit. You can't list a YouTube video as a source. If you have a YouTube video that makes a claim and there's a source found in the video description for that claim, then please send me that source. But you cannot seriously just say, somebody said this on the internet. Here's the source. A YouTube video is no different than me writing a comment right now. I'm gonna write a comment. is a weeb furry. That is a fact. And now it's like, what kind of documentation or evidence do you have to back that claim? It's like, well, I just posted it right there. Like, you can't just post a YouTube video. You can't just post this is what I'm arguing against. This is the whole point of me making this, is because all these YouTube videos are literally wrong about this. And you might be a weeb furry, I don't know. Anyway, so I literally think it's a typo. I literally, quite fucking legitimately at this point, think it's a typo. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to communicate this in my review and record it tomorrow and add that to it. Because, like, literally, there's zero source anywhere. And in Fred Patton's book, the most researched piece of media on this entire subject, has claimed that one of Tezuka's last business decisions was to authorize a remake of the Jungle Emperor TV series, right? That was his last business decision. Let's see if he mentions the Jungle Emperor Leo anywhere in his book. 0 matches.
I didn't mean to offend.
I know you didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry. This has literally just been like my past 4 months. Is this? Oh, interesting. Apparently, the Canadian dub changes the Kimba's nemesis into his evil uncle. So maybe I should actually watch through the whole Canadian dub.
No! God, please, no! No!
It's getting longer. Hold on. I think the Canadian dub was 1993, but this is saying, like, I don't know if he's actually referencing the Canadian dub, because what he's saying here is in 1996, there were 4 videotapes containing 2 episodes each that were released by United American Video under the title of Kimba the Lion Prince. Let's see if I can find Kimba the Lion Prince anywhere. Because if you search Kimba the Lion Prince, you find the 1993 redub on YouTube, but it's not the same thing. So this Kimba the Lion Prince thing that Patton is referencing in his book, I cannot find anywhere. And didn't know it existed until now. You'd think this would be the section where if it started in the 80s, if the production started in the 80s and there was a huge production hell, this would be where you would find that information. So I'm going to read this, and if it's anywhere, it's going to be here. It's going to be in Fred Patton's book, because he is the most researched on the subject by far. And I don't think it's going to be here. I think it's actually bullshit. I think that literally in that trailer, I think it's a typo. I legitimately think that at this point. Because it would be here, right? It's nowhere. Anyway, feature in Japan, produced in theatrical quality animation. This is the most lavish film adaptation of cartoon novel to date. Although the feature is faithful to the original story, Tezuka Productions' choice of images and publicity still. The Lion King, which may have fans took to be deliberately provocative, which is kind of what I would think too, if we assume that it was in production after The Lion King started, which might be the case now. It's literally not here. Literally not mentioned in this book. So I think it's bullshit. Because it's nowhere else. It's literally nowhere else. Yeah, so there's literally zero evidence that, like, if production started in the 80s, that would be somewhat believable, even if there's literally nothing to suggest that. But this trailer did not come out in 87. I think that's ridiculous. This has to be a typo. This trailer did not come out in 87. That doesn't make any sense. This trailer did not get released 10 years before the movie. And with every other copyright here being the publication date of what they're advertising, this has to be a typo. Why would this be the only trailer out of all the trailers on this disc where the publication date is the release of the trailer and not the publication date of the product they're advertising? Why would it be the one exception out of all the trailers on this disc? It has to be a typo. It has to be a typo. Because there would be something else on the entire internet. Something, right? To back up that it had a troubled production and budget and Tezuka's death affecting it and like 10 years of bullshit. Like, there would have to be something to back that up and not just literally that one number at the end of a DVD trailer from 2003. Specific release, right? There would have to be something else. The fact is like it is common consensus among the Kimba crowd and some other places on the internet that the production for this movie started in the late 80s and it had a quote-unquote troubled production because of budgetary reasons and or Tezuka's death. But there are zero sources for that anywhere. It's not even on like the Japanese Wikipedia for the film. It's nowhere. It's literally nowhere. Like, I can't find anything about it, right? And there's an entire wealth of information, all these details about the production of his other films. You would think that that would be mentioned. You would think that that would be mentioned in Fred Patton's book. You would think that that would be mentioned anywhere, but it's nowhere. So it's clear. It clearly just has to be speculation as to why, like, they would see copyright 1987 and then the movie comes out in 1997. So it has to be a typo. It literally has to be a typo at this point. I don't believe that copyright 1987 is a real thing. It would be the only thing on that DVD that listed a copyright date for the trailer or for its initial production or something like that. It would be the only trailer on that DVD that didn't release, that didn't list a copyright date for the actual publication of the product that they're selling. That would literally be the only one. It has to be a typo. So yeah, Does it prove that the trailer wasn't copyrighted in 1989? Because also it says 1987 in that video, but like these aren't copyrights for trailers. These are copyrights for home video release. So I'm not even sure if this would prove that. I'm not sure this helps me that much. Either way, like, I think my interpretation of events is like incredibly reasonable. So I can't even include this because now I talk about the production, which, like, now I don't even believe. I took it at such face value that I recorded this whole section talking about, like, yeah, the production started in 1987 and blah, 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 just like the Kimba crowd wants me to believe. But now I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that anymore. Like, there's so much bullshit here. By doing so, you are only making your... So here's all the audio I recorded today. And you know what's fucking hilarious? Is there's new information that I found today that makes me have to re-record the end of this Also, that's how deep the rabbit hole has gone. It's like literally shit I was recording today. I've found out more about it that makes me have to add something to it or re-record some parts of it. So yeah, it looks like the 97 movie started production in 1994. And it looks like the only reason it exists was to try and capitalize off of the success of The Lion King. Which would make a lot of sense and is hilarious given the context of all these fucking arguments going on. But that's where we're at right now. That's what it looks like. And I'm actually waiting back on a message from someone for their source about something. But like that's literally what it looks like at this point. That's what everything is leading towards. And so that Anime Works DVD literally was a typo, just as I had assumed.
Thanks for watching, guys. Let me give a shout out to my $5 and up patrons: Lemonade Warrior, Diet Jesus, Rasmus, Mechadong, Brendan Stuper, Tequila Cinema, and Pitwang. Have a good one.
The clip of that girl, I don't know what you're talking about. The girl who, I've seen the clip on Reddit, if you're trying to mention the one who was like, yeah, you know, like, if you can afford to watch me on Twitch, then you can afford a sub, okay? That's like not even a meal. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, a meal can be like $1.50 depending on the person.
Have fun, son. All right.
She was not being sarcastic. She's a fucking thought.